he became the wrong.
Daf Yud Aleph, we're holding on Daf Yud Amud Beis, Eisvei. So again, we have this amazing machlokes between Rabbi Yochanan and Bar Pada. Can a person take an ubar, the fetus, and isolate it and make it kaddish? Magdishin eivar v'ubar. So now I have a couple of questions on Bar Pada. The Gemara brought before that who was it? Rabbi Yirmiyah said it over to Rabbi Zera, I think. Yasser Rabbi Zera, Kamel Shmaitzel. Yeah. Okay. So the back and forth now is between Rabbi Zera and Rabbi Yirmiyah. Really, he's Eisveis. Eisvei magdishin eivarim v'ubarim. It says that you could be magdish. There's a distinction between to be magdish and be do Temurah. So it says that you could be magdish a limb, and you could be magdish a fetus. Avaloi mamir, but you can't do Temurah.
When you say you can't do Temurah, but the object is the limb, or the
either or
the originating.
What are you talking about? You're talking about the aver also? Yeah, either or.
In other words, if I make this Ava hektish, I can't actually do Temurah with that, from that Ava onto
It can't be the subject of Temurah. And we're going to see soon if you could go the other way around. If you go from an aver to Avaloi Mamir. Hachanami bevlodei kachim. So we must say, so what's the question? The question is that it says that you point at a pregnant animal and you say her baby inside, the fetus, should be a carbon, and it says that it becomes kaddish. It says mefurish magdishin eivarim v'ubarim. You can make a fetus kaddish. You just can't do Temurah. But that would be a question on Bar Pada who says, how are you surviving with that?
Just fine.
Okay. What? No battery?
No, it's not connected.
Oh. Technology. Yeah, but you see that? He depends on technology, and one day when there's no Wi-Fi or something, there's no Gemara. Okay. Avaloi mamirim. So we must say, going back to the pshat that we had yesterday. Yesterday we said either it's Kodesh Kedushas Damim, and when we couldn't say the teretz of Kodesh Kedushas Damim, then we said Vladei Kachim. What does that mean? It means that the mother is Kodesh, and this offspring is Kodesh agav the mother. So what's the problem with saying that? Yeah? How does it fit into the words? It says you could take a fetus and be magdish it, and now we're saying, no, you can't be magdish the fetus. You magdish the mother. It happens to be that the fetus becomes Kodesh after the mother. It doesn't fit into the words. You're not being magdish the fetus, you magdish the mother, and then the baby becomes Kodesh. But that's not what it says. It says the Gemara, Daf Yud Aleph Amud Aleph, Hachiko Amar. It's more like a chasuri mechzer. It's missing a bunch of words. You have to stick in like this. Magdishin eivarim. Here's a whole shtickle Torah. These two words. Magdishin eivarim. I could take an aver and make it kodesh. Then what happens? Then it transfers to the rest of the animal. It's mispashet.
It spreads to the rest of the animal.
It spreads to the rest of the animal. And then I have the next sentence, amirim bohem. Once it spreads to the whole animal, then I can do Temurah. You hear Rabbi say what's going on here? I start off with one limb. I say this leg is Kodesh. What happens is the whole process. The Kedusha goes from the leg, transfers and spreads into the rest of the body. Yes, automatically. I don't know. That's what I meant. I meant leg, I meant the whole body. It transfers like we had yesterday in Rabbi Yossi. We're going to have more of it today. Machlokes Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Yehuda.
What kind of Kedusha are you talking about first?
Full Kedusha. It has to be full Kedusha. Once it's full Kedusha, then I have an animal Kedusha Guf. I can do Temurah to that animal. I say, this animal that's Chulin should be like this animal that started off with a foot and became a whole Kadosh. I want it to be Temurah, and it works. Avaloi mamirin eivarim bohem. But you cannot take one aver, says the Gemara, you hear this, you can't take one aver and say that one leg should be Temurah. Then it won't spread. It only spreads when I start off with a lashon of Gedusha. I say this leg should be Kadosh, then the whole animal becomes Kadosh. Once the whole animal becomes Kadosh, then I could do Temurah to that whole animal. But if I start off right away and I say this leg should be Temurah, I don't say, oh, he said leg Temurah, that means the whole animal Temurah, and therefore it's Temurah. No, that I don't say. I only say Kadosh could spread, Temurah doesn't spread.
How does it spread? Chris, you just implied that he really meant the whole animal.
In Gedusha.
In Kedusha. He meant the whole animal. It's not that it's like a virus.
No.
He meant the whole
It meant, or we're going to see.
So why not he meant the
It's
whole
because
Torah?
he knows that you can't do one limb. So when
So
he
why,
says a
so
limb,
why,
he's
so why
saying
does
it
it
in a
not
funny way.
mean...
By Temurah, it doesn't mean that.
You can make a link with Kodesh, but you can't make
V'ubarim shekachu b'mei iman ein mamir b'hem. Now, unlike a leg that could become kaddish and the whole body becomes kaddish, so ubar, even if it has gedusha, I cannot use it for Temurah. That's the pshat. A uber can never become the subject of Temurah. As the Gemara, bevladi kachim b'mei imam hu d'lo yavdin Temurah. So you're telling me this is a case because the fetus is inside the mother's stomach. And that's why there's no Temurah. Ha broi avdi. Once it's born, you could do Temurah to a newborn animal. What's the issue? Because yesterday we had the machlokes between Chachamim and Rabbi Yehuda if a newborn animal can be a subject of Temurah. V'ha t'nan ein havelados oisim Temurah. A vlad, the offspring of a hegdish animal, the Chachamim say, and l'chayr we passing like Chachamim, the Rabbim, you can't do Temurah. Says Gemara, Hamani, Rabbi Yehudi. So you have to say, like we had yesterday, Rabbi Yehuda Shita, that you could do Temurah with a Vlad. Rabbi Yehuda, wait a minute, so how does the whole thing fit in? It has to be consistent. Evarim Mikachi. The whole thing, you just told me that what's going on here, that he's Magdish one Aver, and that one Aver transfers to the rest of the body, but Rabbi Yehuda doesn't hold of that. As we're going to see the whole machlokes soon. That's Shitas Rabbi Yosi, Rabbi Shimon. But Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir both agree that it doesn't transfer. Oh, the Rabbi Yehuda, Leslie Oy Miraglish Shazu Oyla Kula Oyla. Omalei, Hachabi Mayaskino Bedavar Oysa Oysa Treifo, as we're going to see in a second again. That even Rabbi Yehuda admits, the whole world admits, that if somebody points at the heart of the animal, at the head of the animal, and says, I want that head to be Kadosh, then obviously it transfers, because the head is the whole animal. Without a head, you don't have an animal. The machlokes is in the leg. So we're talking about a situation, if, according to Bar Pada, that goes according to Rabbi Yehuda, and according to the case, that it's the head. That's how you have to explain this whole brisa.
It's an essential part of the animal
Yes.
can't live without.
Anything that the animal can't live without, as we're going to see more,
There's a difference, right, between Treifa and Doch Shashon Akluda.
that's what we're going to see in a second.
We saw that.
But that,
Yeah.
that goes against what you said, that you really meant. The whole animal.
I was thinking about what you would know. You're asking one question, leg, transfer to the rest of the body. Head is a different svara. You can't use that svara in a leg that it transfers to the rest of the body. You're talking about where the animal has no chiyus. You chop off the head or the heart, there's no animal. Then everybody agrees. By the way, there's a big nidar in the Rishonim. Why is it? How does Rabbi Yehuda know this? This halacha. So there's a Tosfos in Kedushin that talks about it. Either he has some sort of Gzeir Shava, or it's logic. If a person says that this head should be Kadosh, he means the entire animal. But you cannot use that logic on a leg. So it's not different than what I said. It's a different situation.
Because he thinks you would cut your leg off and knuckle it separately, the animal still live.
Or here, all these questions we're going to be touching upon Mamish in a second. What do you do with an animal that only has dush on a leg? What can you do with it? You could sell it. You can make some money off it. Let's see. Perhaps this whole shaila, if I could isolate the fetus and make it kadosh, is machlokes tanoi. Not just Rabbi Yochanan and Bar Pada. Hashoichel is achatos umatzabo ben arba chay. Says Rashi, we're talking about that somebody was magdish a pregnant animal, and when he opened up the animal, he finds a fetus that's 4 months old. Why 4 months? Because animals are pregnant for 5 months. These smaller animals, 5 months. 4 months, as we're going to see, means that it wasn't really born. It's prior to it being born. Had it been 5 months and you opened up the stomach, you could consider that a birth. But since it's only 4 months, it's not a birth.
So 5 months.
So you have a ben peku on a 4-month-old, on a 4th month of pregnancy. So on the one hand, it says you have a chatos in front of us, and you have the fetus of a chatos. What status does this fetus have? Is it a chatos or not a chatos? Tani chada eino necheles el zichri kuna. It's dead. This thing is dead. It died, but it had a shechita from its mother. On the one hand, it says only kohanim could eat it. Why? Because it's a chatos. A chatos only kohanim could eat, and since it's a chatos, eino necheles el lifnim min hakloim, you could only eat it inside the azara of eino necheles lo yimechad. You get 1 day. B'kitzur, it's a chatos for all halachas. B'tanya idach, necheles l'chol adam. It's not a chatos at all. Anybody could eat it. V'nechol b'chol makoim, v'nechol ba'azara. My left, anoi. L'chayr, this is our machlokes. The marsov kedusha chala alu barim, u'marsov kedusha chala alu barim. He took a pregnant animal. He pointed at the animal and he said, "I want you to be kadosh." According to Rabbi Yochanan, he actually made 2 animals kadosh. It's as if he pointed at 2 separate animals, because you could isolate the fetus and you can make the fetus kaddish by herself. So when he said that the mother is kaddish, he also said the fetus is kaddish in its own kedusha. Now that you chop open the mother, you take out the fetus, you could eat the fetus if you're a kohen. Only a kohen. Yisrael can't eat it. But if you hold that you cannot isolate the fetus, now it's too late already. Now the baby is not a chatos. The baby is agav the mother, uba yerachimai. So
why is there a chatas? If the mother is a chatas.
because you couldn't put a real kedusha on it.
If it's uber yerachimo, then it's just a...
Yeah, but it's individual, not individual. I think it's not strong enough because you did it. Your case would be if he was magdish it, then she became pregnant. Then uber yerachimo, it has a certain kedusha like the mother. But over here, she was in the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you could be magdish it. It was there, and you try to do kedusha through the mother. It's a secondary kedusha. That we said yesterday. The uber is a secondary kedusha to the mother. It doesn't have the same status as the mother. So Mela, Kain can't eat it.
You can't do Temurah with it? That's secondary kedusha. With a secondary condition, you can't do Temurah with it, right?
Yeah, that was yesterday's sugya.
It's like the offspring.
Yeah. So Gemara Loi, it's not a good raya that this is a machlokes tanoim. This whole shaila, if you could make magdish duma. Hana tanoim b'hokam mifligi. There were different machlokes. The mar sobar v'lodis kochim b'havayosanim gdoishim. Here's the shaila. When does the kedusha apply to this vlad? Does it apply when it's in its mother's stomach, or do you give it the kedusha as it's born? So if you say that it's kaddish when it's born, so here's the problem: this animal wasn't born; it was in the 4th month. Now it's important to know that it's in the 4th month. It doesn't have havayason. It wasn't born. So memela, it's not kaddish at all. Then Yisrael could eat. It attained the kedusha when it was in its mother's stomach. Memela, the kohen eats it. It goes according to one Tana. Rashi says it goes according to Rabbi Yochanan. Other Rishonim say other things. It goes according to Rav Pada. But let's go with Rashi. Chatanu. It goes according to Rabbi Yochanan that you have the right to be magdish the uber. If one of these Mishnayos, Brises, b'magdish behema v'achkach nisabra, is talking about when you took an animal, you made it kaddish, and then afterwards it became pregnant. So in that case, Rabbi Yochanan says you didn't isolate the baby. You spoke about the mother. So the baby doesn't have kedusha. And this is Rabbi Yochanan's classic case where you look at a mother and you're magdish the mother, but what you're looking at, since uber lav yerech imay, you're in fact looking at 2 separate animals. So he's magdish both of them. Both of them have real dusha, so therefore only a kohen could eat it. Fine. So that's it. We're done with that. Now we're going to continue on with another kasha. Tanya Rebbe Eliezer Omer. Rebbe Eliezer brings 5 types of animals that you can never make them into a carbon. They can never become Kedushas Haguf. Kilayim, that's if you mix 2 animals, mixed breed. Treifa, an animal that has something it's a treifa, it's gonna die soon. The Yoitze Doifen, and an animal born by cesarean. You cannot make that animal Kodesh Kedushas Haguf. Tumtum Androgynos, it says Zachar Nekeva, it can't be Tumtum Androgynos. Loi Kedoshim, Veloi Magdishim. They can never become Kadosh, and they can never make other things Kadosh. What does that mean? V'amar Shmuel, Loi Kedoshim B'Temurah. So it's kedai to stick in a little word here. They can't become Kadosh even B'Temurah. Meaning, yes, I can't look at this animal and say, you are a Oila Shlamim. But I also can do something else that would be easier, and that's called Temurah. I already have an existing animal, Oila, and I take this Yaitze Doifen animal. This animal is born with cesarean. I say, it should be instead of this animal. Temurah. Maybe the Kedusha should transfer, or at least become Kadosh. No, even in that case, it cannot become Kadosh. V'loi magdishin lasois Temurah. And here's a very tricky thing. It says that this Yaitze Doifen, this Treifa Klayin Tumtum Androgynos animal, you cannot point at it and say, just like it is Kadosh, it's an Oila, it's Kadosh, so too, this Chulin animal should.
The only way to get there is through a king of land.
Oh, so the question is, how did this Yaitze Doifen ever become Kadosh? We just established that an animal born by cesarean can never become Kadosh. So how in the world are you taking another Chulin animal and pointing at it and saying it should be like this Yaitze Doifen, which is Kadosh? It's not Kadosh. It can't become Kadosh. V'tanya Omer Rebbe Meir. So Rebbe Meir explains, it can never become Kadosh. So what's going on here? Ella. So that's what you have to chap. Where's the Gemara going with this? The Gemara is going to ask a question on Bar Pada, who says that a fetus can never become Kadosh by itself. So let's go one by one. We have 5 cases. Treifa. Okay, Treifa is very simple. You have a regular animal that you magdish as a oila. The next day, you discover that its whole leg got cut off. Minar kuva lamala. Treifa. Okay, but it already had Kedusha. And now you want to say it's going to die. You can't bring it on the mizbech, but it already has Kedusha. Too late. You can never remove the Kedusha from it. And then somebody said Temurah. Okay. What about Tumtum Androgynos? We're going to say, as the Gemara is going to say later, and the Rashi brings it here, Vlad of Kochim. It's the Vlad of Kochim. You have to say that somebody pointed at the fetus. How do you have a Yaitze Doifen that has a Kedusha? How do you have a cesarean with Kedusha? Because somebody pointed at this pregnant animal and said, its baby should be Kadosh. So now it has Kedusha, and then it was born through cesarean. Alma, Kadosh Vlad. Therefore, it's a big problem on Bar Pada. Why can't you just answer that maybe the person was magdishit l'damim? That's what we said yesterday. We had 2 tirutzim. Anytime we got stuck in a corner with Bar Pada, damim. If I can't say that teretz, then I'm going to say Vlad Kochim. But why can't I say damim? So Rashi, the last line in Rashi, v'lekel terutz kedushas damim, di kedushas damim. The last word is on the line. Di kedushas damim lehava avet Temurah afilu yotze derech rechem. You're talking about kedushas haguf here. You have to be consistent. We're talking about Temurah. Temurah is only on kedushas haguf, not on kedushas damim. Fine. Says the Gemara. Now the Gemara changes up the whole machlokes. We had this machlokes what? Almost a daf ago. Yeah, a daf ago. If a person isolates the fetus and says the mother could remain chulin, the mother could be a shlamim. I want the baby to be a noila, and the mother remains chulin. Could I do that? Rabbi Yochanan says yes. Bar Pada says no. Now the Gemara changes it around a little bit. Amri, bitam b'mei tmima. If the mother is healthy and is a good carbon, afilu Bar Pada nami moedid kaddish. There's no machlokes. Then Bar Pada will admit that I could isolate the baby and make the fetus carbon. Ela bitam b'mei balas mum. The whole machlokes loynechlik ela bitam b'mei balas mum. The shaila is when the mother is not. It's not possible for the mother to be a carbon because she's a balas mum. Since uber lav yerech imoi, the fetus has no connection to the mother. But Bar Pada says uber yerech imoi, so there is a connection. And your question is going to be a lot stronger here. How do you reconcile this? It's either yerech imoi or lav yerech imoi. How can you dance on two chasanas according to Bar Pada? How does this work here? Bar Pada sovar kiven the imei loy mikach kedushas haguf. Since the mother cannot become kadosh, hunami loy kadosh. So the baby is also not kadosh. Wait a minute. But according to Bar Pada, okay, Bar Pada says ubar yerech imoi. It's like the mother. These are two separate individual animals. Imehi veloy mikacha avalhu kadosh. You're right, the mother can't become kadosh because she's a balas mum, but that has no connection to the baby inside, which is a different entity. It's not connected to the mother. And memela, I can be mikadosh the baby. This lashon jumps in the middle of the whole sugya, ignores Rabbi Lezer, what he said with the 5 animals and this and that and the questions, and it starts in the middle. You have to explain, like Rashi explained before, how do you get Gdusha on a tumtum and androgynous who cannot become Kadosh? We have to explain that they became Kadosh through the mother. So once it's born, it could become Kadosh. But this Yoitze Doifen guy, it itself, you can't make it Kadosh. A regular Yoitze Doifen, a regular animal could become Kadosh. A Yoitze Doifen can't become Kadosh. Omer Abaya, and on that Abaya explains, when we're talking about the mother is healthy, even Bar Pada admits that you could isolate the fetus. El Kipligi, where does Bar Pada Mechlug on Rebbe Yochanan b'mei balas mum, when the mother has a mum, the Bar Pada Sava kivin dimin nami leikadosh gufa, iu nami leikadosh al d'mei, you can only be mekadosh l'dmei. Rebbe Yochanan Sava, by the way, what does l'dmei mean? I think I made a mistake yesterday when Nati was asking me about the Bedek Habayis thing. I might have said it was Bedek Habayis. L'dmei over here means, and Rashi says, it means domim. Domim, that you buy a carbon with this money. It's not Bedek Habayis. Because he was asking a Bedek Habayis question, that if it's, what was this question that we learned that you can't take a whole animal and donate it to the Bedek Habayis, and therefore Uber also. I don't think it's a question anyways, but we're not talking about Bedek Habayis. We're talking about domim. Domim means that I'm being magdish this animal for Noila, that the money goes to Noila. That's a lot stronger than Bedek Habayis. That we never said you can't do. Although we're going to see a sheet soon that you can't do it. That if you try to do it the whole animal, it flips into a noila. It is an oila. You can't say I want the monetary value of this animal for an oila. You would actually have to bring that animal as an oila. That's Rava later on. Since it's not connected to the mother, since the mother can't be Kaddish because she has a mom, has no connection to the ubar. Nusugya. Yes, there's a lot of variables here. If she became pregnant before, became pregnant after, this one, that one, damim, guf, yes, a lot of variables. No charts. We're going to discuss. So we had the machlokes, we had Rabbi Yossi at least yesterday that says that if you say on a limb of an animal, on a regel, that it should be kadosh, it transfers to the rest of the body. Yud Aleph on the base. So here the Gemara brings down the machlokes, what's going on. Here's the opposing view. Those who are mechulik and Rabbi Yossi. I would think that if a person says on this leg it should be an oila, the entire animal turns into an oila. Like Rabbi Yossi says, no. Talmud loymar kol asher yitei mimenu laHashem yeh kodesh. The Gemara darshans the word mimenu laHashem v'lo ikulu laHashem. Here's the pasuk. We're going to need this pasuk a little later on. V'behema is very important. This word yakir mimenu karban also important. Kol asher yitei mimenu. Mimenu is a miut, a little bit of it. It's regel. L'Hashem yeh kodesh, everything. So this Manda Omar learns from the word mimenu, that even a part of it can retain its kedusha as is, and it doesn't have to transfer. So we're talking about psukim here, not even svaras. Mimenu l'Hashem v'lo yikulu l'Hashem. Yochel teitzi l'chulin. Maybe, okay, so if the whole animal doesn't become kadosh, so maybe nothing happened. Who said that part of it became kadosh? It's either all or nothing. Meichet Heisa, you could do some of it. Its ear should become kadosh. It hardly makes sense. Talmud loymar yeh kadosh. And memela what? So now I have an animal with one leg that's kadosh, and now I can't redeem it. I can't do anything with it. It's mamish kadosh. I can't redeem a perfectly healthy animal. I can redeem an animal that has a mum, but this animal doesn't have a mum, and only its leg is kadosh. So now I'm stuck. Haketza, what do I do? Timacher letzarchei oylois. I sell it, and this also, you probably remember this. We had this a few times. We had it in B'chayris and in Nerechin. This is the third time, trifecta. You take this animal and you sell it to a person who's needy, who needs an oyla. There's somebody out there that needs an oyla. Made a neder, whatever it is. He says, I need to bring an oyla, so here, I have an animal. I don't want to bring it as the oyla. I was trying to be cheap. I was trying to get out of it. I was trying to say, I'm going to give $100 worth of this $1,000 animal as oyla. Here's its leg. So now I'm going to be stuck with a $1,000 oyla? No. So I'm going to sell this animal for $900 because $100 is my oyla, is my leg. So I'm going to sell him the whole animal minus my leg. So what's the problem? Now that guy has an animal without a leg. That leg is mine.
He made a native for Hola.
He made a nether. He has to bring an oyla. I just sold him an animal that has no leg, or that he has to be makriv the leg for me. So he has 3/4 of an animal. It's very, you could do shudvas if you want to do, but how can you do shudvas? No. Not if a person says that he's going to bring an oyla. If a person says he's going to bring an oyla, a whole oyla, 100% oyla, you can't bring a shudvas. A shudvas is 50%. If a person says I'll bring 50% of the oyla, correct, but it's not 100. You admit that's not 100? If a person says 95 is not enough. A person said, I'm going to bring 100% oyla. It's 100% oyla. You can't bring an animal with a shutfas. So anyways, all the money of this oyla goes into his pocket. It's chulin. Besides whatever that regal is worth. Okay? Mamish reminds me of any deal I try to do here in Eretz Yisrael. I don't know if you ever try to do deal here. You try to buy a building. We even have it now. Any deal. You buy a building, the guy says, we try to buy a yeshiva for my brother-in-law. I'll sell you all 3 floors besides these 3 rooms. We try to convince him. No, the deal fell through because he wouldn't sell. It's very sentimental to him. His father used to learn there. No. Or there's always like a mashu that they leave for themselves. So here also, I'm selling you the whole oil besides, I'll give you everything besides the leg.
It's really clever then, because you have to look there to get into the building. So I think it's called if they own a silik of it, they can always.
Whatever it is, even our shul, Bnei Yeshivas, they sold the whole shul, but minus if they ever make money off it, part of it goes to Yankee Segal. Yeah. All right, there's always a deal. Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda. So anyways, this is Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda. A lot of times they're mechulik with each other. Over here, they both come together, and they're against Rabbi Yossi. The famous Rabbi Yossi, the Ragli Shazu Oila, Kula Oila. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon Oimrim, Minayin La Oimer, Ragli Shazu Oila, Shekula Oila. And here comes Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi says that if I say one leg it means the whole animal. Shenema kol asher yiteh mimenu l'Hashem. Kishu oimer yeh kodesh l'Rabbi says kula. Yeh kodesh, it's all. What?
Why does it say Mimeno?
Don't know.
Or Haguf, I could teach you this then.
Maybe, yeah. Mimenu, even if I started with a regal, and it should be yeh kodesh. Very good. Very good. Omar mar timochel etzorchi oiloi. So now we're going back to that question. How could you sell your animal minus a leg? Rashi says it beautifully. If you look at Rashi, it's not even his. You sold an animal minus the leg. Why is he bringing it as a oila? The leg is going to be nikrav on the mizbeach for the guy that sold it to you. So it comes out that he never brought a full animal onto the mizbech. V'hu nadar, you hear this? Yisachar. V'hu nadar, his nether was lahakriv kol habehema l'chivasai. He said, I'm going to bring 100% oila, and here's an animal that's not 100%. Says the Gemara, Omarova ba'omer harei oila b'chayeha. No, it's not talking about a guy that says, I want to bring 100% oila. He says, I'm going to bring a oila b'chayah, meaning I'm going to bring all the vital parts of the oila. If it's missing a couple of legs, it's not the end of the world. I'm bringing most of the oila. That's what that was his nether. That's all he's bringing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rashi brings another lashon here from the Yerushalmi, that a person said, I'm going to bring one zuz worth of an oila. That we could understand that a little better. I'm going to bring a zuz worth of an oila. Here's a zuz worth of oila. This is actually more than a zuz. I doesn't have a leg, too bad. I said one zuz worth of oila, and I brought one zuz of an oila.
Didn't we say that
It's a treifa. Yeah.
So isn't that part of the ragla?
What, Darkuv v'lamala? Why? Who says?
No, I'm asking.
Oh, you're saying that regal means Darkuv v'lamala. It should be Davash and Hashem Tluyaba. No, so not. You have to say regal means the
It doesn't mean that it's really mechusar eva and it's a treifa. It just means that I don't own all of it, so I can't.
No. He's asking if a person is noider on a regal should be no different than a head, because anyways it's going to die.
The lower.
It's only the lower part. This
That's the lower part.
Lower part. Omer Rav Chizda, Moeder Rabbi Yehuda. So now we're going to have a 3-sheet list. They all say pretty much the same thing. Then anytime a person points at a part of the animal that the animal will die without it, it means the whole animal, even according to Rabbi Yehuda, that says that regal doesn't spread to the rest of the body. We have Rav Chizda. Chizda is number 1. Anything that makes it a treifa, and we learned typically, there was a machlokes, but a treifa meaning it won't live for 12 months, as the Gemara is going to explain. Rava Amar, b'davar sha'isa is nevela. No, not a treifa nevela, meaning it's imminent. It's mamish now. It's going to die any minute if you remove it. If you remove the leg, markuva lamala, it's going to live 12 months. It could live. It's just eventually going to die. Over here, nevela, you take out its heart, it has about 10 seconds to live. Okay, so basically the saying, all within the same thing. So what's the difference? What's the difference between a treifa and a nevela? Treifa chaya. Pashut. Question is whether treifa lives or not. So therefore he used the word treifa. No, a treifa could live a very long life. And memela, I have to say, it's a little stronger than a treifa. It's an avela. It's not going to live. I need you to understand, I'm talking about an aver that's going to die right now. We're not talking about legs. We're talking about serious avarim. What's the difference between an avela? It's imminent that it's going to die, and it's going to die. We're talking about one specific case, also in Chulin, that if you remove the whole thigh and the cavity above the thigh, there's like a little hollow. Rashi says that when it's laying down, the whole, like, remember that whole joint, that whole, what is it called? That ball, the socket. Even when it's sitting down, you notice that it's missing. That's a big problem. This thing is not going to live. But
it's still alive.
it's still alive. Well, listen, it's only missing a leg.
No, so
How it's going to die? But
that's different between
8
the two
minutes.
shittas.
well, he says
So
no,
they actually did. He's saying
not actually dead. That no. He says that even if you remove that socket, it still has a lot more life than an avela. Rabbi Savalaki Rabbi Lazar, that it's going to die, it's imminent. Rav Sheshes Savalaki Rabbi Lazar, I guess it's a Shaila Metzias here, whether this animal is going to die or not. Meisvi Amar Rebbe. Now, this is not a big nafkamina. The Gemara had a havamina, and the Gemara says pretty much what we would assume anyways. Amar Rebbe, Nirim Divri Rebbe Huda Bedover Sheina Neshamat Luyibay. Rebbe Huda makes a lot of sense when the animal is going to die. So if a person points to one aver that the animal cannot live without it, he means the entire animal. B'divrei Rabbi Yosi makes a lot of sense. B'dover she'anashamat luyibah. Sorry, b'dover nirim divrei Rabbi Yehuda b'dover she'ein anashamat luyibah. That it doesn't spread. If you just point at a leg, it doesn't spread to the rest of the body. B'divrei Rabbi Yosi b'dover she'anashamat luyibah. And Rabbi Yosi's halacha would be correct. It makes a lot of sense logically when the whole body is dependent on that aver that it does spread. So the Gemara asks, La b'chlal the polig alei the Rabbi Yehuda. So it comes out that each one doesn't admit to the other one in that case. Bishloi menirim divrei Rabbi Yehuda b'dover she'ein neshamat tluya boi mechklal the polig alei the Rabbi Yosi. If Rabbi Yehuda says in a aver that is not dependent on the life of the animal, mechlal the polig alei the Rabbi Yosi, he's mechulik. Rabbi Yosi says it spreads, even a leg spreads to the whole body. Rabbi Yehuda says it doesn't. Elo nivrin divrei Rabbi Yosi b'dover she'ein neshamat tluya boi la mechlal the polig alei the Rabbi Yehuda. If you're telling me that the halacha is like Rabbi Yosi in a case where the neshama is totally in it, if a person points to the heart and says, "I'm magdish the heart," says Rabbi Yosi, it goes to the whole animal, and the halacha is like Rabbi Yosi and not like Rabbi Yehuda, who's mechulik on him. Meaning that Rabbi Yehuda holds that even if you point to the heart, it doesn't go to the rest of the animal. We just said Rav Chisda, Rav, and Rav Sheshes all say that if you point to the heart, even Rabbi Yehuda admits it goes to the whole body. What's going on here? So you have to the kulu. In a case of Davar Shenashamat Lubi on the heart, even Rabbi Yehuda admits to Rabbi Yosi. There's no machlokes in that case, according to everybody. The whole machlokes is in one case in Davar Shenashamat Lubi like a leg. Davar Shenashamat Lubi, Moidele, Rabbi Yehuda would admit to Rabbi Yosi. By Rava. Ba'oif mahu. Look at this. If I have a bird and I say on the bird on an aver she'ein neshamat luyibah, on the wing, I don't know if that's a neshamat luyibah. Eventually it's going to die if it can't fly. Let's say whatever it is, it's missing something. Yeah, but it says in the pasuk vim behema. It's not talking about a bird. It's talking about an animal. But then it says a second later carbon. So which one is it? Teiku. Carbon means a bird, but behema doesn't mean a bird. So do we have this halacha or not? But if Mao behema amar rachmano, v'la behema oidilma carbon amar rachmano, v'hai nami carbon uteiku. Boy Rava. Higdish ever ledamav, according to Rabbi Yosi, says Rashi. Rabbi Yosi says you take one aver, the leg, and it's mispashit. It spreads to the whole body. What happens if he said, I want this aver not to be kodesh kedushas haguf, I want this aver to be kodesh kedushas damim, meaning I'm going to sell the aver, the value of the aver, I'm going to buy a carbon with that value. Can it go from damim to guf? Now what's the problem? Really what we're doing is two miguis here. Migui, that I said one aver, not a migui like in sense of a migui, but migui mean since I said an aver, according to Rabbi Yossi, usually it travels, it goes to the rest of the body. Pretend I said that this should be Kodesh Kedushas Haguf, this leg. What's the halacha according to Rabbi Yossi? It spreads to the whole body. So now also, I said this leg should be Kodesh Kedushas Damim. It should spread to the whole body. The whole animal is Kedushas Damim. Now once it's Kodesh Kedushas Damim, can it spread to Kedushas Haguf? Ma'al the Dech Kedushas Haguf. Mi amrin kivin nachtalei Kedushas Damim, nachtalei nami Kedushas Haguf. Could it transfer Kedushas Damim to Kedushas Haguf? And since I did it on the leg, it should travel and transfer the rest of the body. So in other words, can I do two miguis? I can only say one migui. I don't do two miguis. I have an answer. If he was magdish the entire animal for its value, for the damim that I'm going to sell it, so what do I see from here? I see that it transfers from Kedushas Damim to Kedushas Aguf. So you're going to ask me, how does that answer the question? I asked the question, could I do 2 miguis? And you answer me from a case that I do 1 migui. It doesn't answer the question. So the Shita Mekubetzes brings it up, and he says that the Gemara understood over here now, the Gemara didn't understand the Chad Migui, 2 miguis. Over here the Gemara thought, can I transfer the whole body? Can I go from Damim to Guf? I need to know that. That was the Rav's question. The Gemara didn't know yet about, like it's a little bit of a problem in the way it was edited. The words are a little off. In other words, it's a very strong question though. It's still a very good question. Could a body, if I say on an animal it should be Kodesh Kedushas Damim, do I automatically transfer it to Kedushas Aguf? Why should I? That by itself is a major question. Forget about 2 miguis. One question, 1 migui. Does an animal transfer from Damim to Guf? Answers the Gemara, yes. I see Higdish Zachar Ladamav. If I take an animal, a Zachar for an Oila, because an Oila can only be Zachar, and I say that animal should be Kodesh Kedushas Damim, I ignore the person. I say there's no such thing as Kedushas Damim on a whole Zachar. I need you to be Kedushas HaGuf. Okay. Now a new question. Once I know that I could transfer Kedushas Damim, Kedushas HaGuf, what happens if I started out on just one small aver? Do I transfer that one aver to the whole body and then transfer Kedushas HaGuf? Or no, I just stay at one aver, teiku. If I am magdish one limb, can I shear this animal? You know that if I magdish the whole animal, I can't take off its wool. But one aver, what's the halacha? Now the Gemara didn't ask a question about avodah. Avodah is pasha that it's asur. Why? Because I'm being makrish that aver. I'm lessening the aver. I don't care if it's one aver. Just like we had yesterday. By the baby of the mother, just the baby is kaddish, the mother is chulin, I can't work the mother because I'm going to be makrish, and that baby is like an aver. So one leg also. But what about the giza? If you have a shutfus with the guy, I could do the giza even though I own some of this animal. I'm allowed to shear because it's not 100% kaddish. Says the Gemara, what are you talking about? It's b'chlal not a raya. Hasal not like kedusha klal. When you have a partnership with a guy, there's 0 kedusha, not kedusha on one aver. Hachal not like kedusha. We're talking about this kedusha on one aver. Lishna achrina hasal mein biyadi like dishay. You don't have the ability to magdish in the future. Biyadi like dishay. Unresolved. Boy minei abay mirava. Higdish oira ma'u ba'avoida. What if I'm magdish just the hide of the animal? Can I work the animal? Tashma. We said a second ago, if you point, you isolate just the fetus, and just the baby is a carbon, but the mother is not. Mutar is begiza. Vasura ba'avoida. You're not allowed to work the mother. So over here also, by you working the animal, it becomes a muscular animal. So now that's not good for the hide. I wasn't asking that. That I know. I'm familiar with that. That's the Rabbanon Zera. I'm talking about the Reis, is it also? If you're talking about the Rabbanon should have made a full Gzeira on everything, on Giza, Avoida. Why did they say only in Avoida? What's the point of making a Gzeira on something that is not necessary? Avoida, Giza, I guess we should stop here. Tomorrow's a short daf. Have a wonderful day. Rabbi said, pull out your wallets.